Hey guys, it's Gabrielle here from VeganVoice. Today I'm going to be giving you 6 tips to make your life a little bit easier when you've just gone vegan. So I hope this video helps you guys, and please like and subscribe if you would like to see more. Tip numero uno. This is one that I think would help a lot of newbie vegans, as it saves a lot of time at the supermarket, and something I picked up back when we thought that we had dairy allergies in my family and wheat allergies, so I got very used to allergen labelling. So my first tip for you guys is, when you first pick up a packet and you want to see if it's vegan, the best thing to do first, because it's the easiest to find, is go straight to the ingredients and look for the bold allergens, because most of the things that you won't eat as a vegan are actually allergens, which makes it a lot easier to find these things. So like dairy and eggs will usually have to be in bold. So yeah, that's Britain's labelling. I don't know about other countries. Sorry guys. Maybe I'll show you what I mean in a second. Okay, so just for an example guys, just got my little sweet box thing here. Just for an example, you can see on the back of this, but this one's been labelled quite clearly as vegan because it's from the free from section. But I can show you an example of the allergen labelling. Obviously I don't have one for dairy and eggs, but this one's got wheat allergen in. So you can see that it's quite clearly in bold, which makes it a lot easier to see what you can and can't have. If the bold's all clear, then look for the vegetarian logo or the vegan logo. Hopefully vegan, no. This at the moment it's becoming more popular, that logo, but it can still be hard to find sometimes. Often it's just the vegetarian logo, and failing both of those sometimes, unfortunately, then you just have to read through the ingredients, check if there's anything that's been missed out, like gelatin. Just be careful of gelatin, which isn't an allergen. That won't be in bold, but usually gelatin would just be in jelly sweets like this, but obviously this one's from the free from section. Those are the 2 labels that you're looking for, vegetarian or vegan. If you look for vegetarian logo, don't forget to check that the ingredients are actually vegan as well. If it's vegetarian, it won't have gelatin in, so that'll cut you some time when you're looking at sweets. Tip number 2, don't rush things, start small, because you'll be far more likely to stick to it if you gradually change your diet. If you suddenly flick of a switch change and you've gone from meat eater to vegan, you haven't had vegetarian or pescatarian or anything in between, or you've never had an allergy scare like I did a few years ago where we went 3 years without dairy. If you're not used to any of this stuff, suddenly changing diet can be quite daunting and you'll find yourself missing things more. So it may be better for you to slowly cut out things. And another thing I'll say about going slowly is it's best to try and use up what food you have at the moment that you can no longer eat, because otherwise, if you think about it, that animal, their whole life being in that farming system, if you suddenly chuck it in the bin, you're kind of wasting that. Like, I get their whole life doesn't go into one burger, it probably goes into quite a few. To me, it felt quite disrespectful to just completely get rid of those things, so I used them up and never bought them again. If you have a friend or a family member who isn't vegan, you can always give them to them, and then you yourself can go vegan overnight. Tip number 3, keep your old animal products. If you can bear it, maybe keep it a bit longer. Save yourself some money rather than replacing all your jackets and shoes and all of this all at once. But if you really, really can't stomach it and you're prepared for the costs, then you can always give them to charity instead. Again, don't just bin them. As much as you don't want to tell people it's okay to use these things because you don't agree with it anymore, it would be quite disrespectful that the animal has died for that product and the product's not even been used and the animal's died for nothing. Tip number 4. If you're a bit worried about money, try to stay away from the processed foods where you can. Maybe limit them. Learn to cook with beans and lentils, nuts and seeds, rather than buying Linda McCartney sausages, free from burgers and all of that. Another thing I will say as well is the free from section in the supermarket is very expensive. Instead of buying the moo-free chocolate bars that cost a bomb, you could go for things like Bourneville or my personal favourite, Sorella. This is not sponsored. My channel is too small to be sponsored yet. What a cry. It's good to find products that aren't labelled as free from but happen to be vegan anyway, because that definitely helps your wallet. So, things like these. Completely vegan, and they aren't from the free from section, so they're at a normal price. They're not too difficult to find, these things. Once you get savvy with label reading, you do get quite quick at it. It takes time, but you'll learn to be quick at it if you use some of the tips I said earlier. My next tip is to join the community. Get out there and meet other vegans. Even if you don't know any locally or any groups or anything. I've never really heard of a vegan group except VegFest. But if you don't know anywhere you can go, like a campus cooking society or anything, your other option, or cafes nearby, your other option is Facebook pages. Get involved with the Facebook pages advocating for change, animal rights pages, animal welfare pages. Maybe even start your own one, spread the word. And get onto the Facebook pages where different people share products that they've found. I mean, that's how I found these. Yeah, so there's plenty of vegan Facebook pages out there. And the other important thing is try and go to a VegFest when you can, especially in the early days of being vegan, because it can be quite scary. Suddenly you can't have all these foods that used to be your favourites, and suddenly you've got to try all these new things if you want anything similar. So going to VegFest can open your eyes to all the different foods there are out there, and you recognise them more easily when you see them. Tip number 6. Watch loads of videos about it, watch recipe videos, nutrition videos, share them with your family if you still live at home, and watch documentaries, even the ones that are a little bit uncomfortable to watch. In the early days it's quite important, you've got to, if you really want to stick to it, you've got to remind yourself why. If it's too gory for you and you really don't want to watch these things again, that's fine, don't worry about it. Maybe just write a list of reasons why you went vegan, and then if you're ever struggling for whatever reason, if you're struggling with trying new foods and things, have a look through your list to motivate you to actually get out there and try some new things. I have one final note that I really wanted to say, and that's the angry vegan phase. I don't think all vegans will get it. I had mine, though I kind of kept it on the down low a bit, and it's part of why I started this channel. But the angry vegan phase, you've just discovered all these things about the animal agriculture. You've just realised why you don't want to eat animals, whether it's because the industry's cruel, or whether it's because you don't need to, full stop, or because they're sentient. Whatever your reasons are, if it's for the animals or for the planet, you likely have went through even just a small angry vegan phase. But the thing is, when you're in that phase, so it's important to take a step back, look around and see how much is going on. Things are slowly changing. And look at news articles about it, have a look at all the YouTube channels that have come out, all the documentaries on Netflix that have come out. So, if you do want to advocate, that's great, but you need to try and find the best way to do that for you. Try to do it calmly and approach people who want to have a discussion so that they don't feel intimidated, because the worst thing you can possibly do is shout at people or tell them that what they're doing is wrong, because if you don't explain why and you don't do it calmly, people aren't going to want to listen, and more than likely they're not going to want to be associated with vegans if the stereotype's reinforced. So unfortunately we have to try really hard to keep calm even though we feel like injustice is going on, because the best way to promote veganism is to keep calm and just gently tell people what's going on. Let people come to you with their questions, and if your family or your friends, if they make a joke to you about being vegan, you could kind of twist it into an opportunity to educate them a little bit if you wanted to. Because they've brought it up, you won't really be seen as the stereotype as much. And good luck to you guys, and thank you for coming to watch my video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave a comment about videos you want to see in the future. Let me know if you liked this video. I am planning at the moment to do some new types of videos soon. I'm really sorry that I haven't posted many videos recently. it's mainly been because obviously exams all over the place, just started uni and getting used to the workload. Hopefully going to get more into it again this year, and I'm going to be making some videos soon about the zero waste lifestyle that I'm trying to move towards slowly. So please subscribe if you would like to hear some more about that.